Hiya! Today we're going to talk about how not allowing yourself your quote-unquote negative feelings like anger or jealousy or envy, even hatred, that can actually hurt you by not allowing it. Here's how it works. Although there's nothing inherent in the external circumstance, right? We've talked about being a flag in the wind of circumstance or having our buttons pushed by circumstance, like we're little robots that are forced to feel something by external circumstance. None of that's necessary. Nevertheless, at times, it happens. Things happen on the outside, we have thoughts about it, and we generate feelings that are uncomfortable, unpleasant, or even ones that we're ashamed of, like shame. And since it happens sometimes, what do you do with it? Well, if you listen to like affirmations or new age kind of things to do, they'll tell you, well, just paint a smiley face on the rotting stuff underneath. It'll cover it. If you just put a good gloss of affirmations on there, you'll be fine. It doesn't work, and it doesn't work for very good reasons. Another circumstance where people will just kind of put it to the side is this, well, I'm supposed to be a good person and I don't feel anger, so I'll just shunt it to the side. So this is what happens. First of all, anger, jealousy, envy, even hatred, all those feelings are messages to you about something else. The feeling itself is not important. I really mean that. Anger is never the primary emotion. Anger is a protective feeling for overwhelming pain, sorrow, or grief, things of that ilk. Things like hatred, again, those are covers for, that's a defense against immense pain. So all the feelings that you have that you label negative actually either have protective functions in themselves or are covering something a feeling that's actually has very little societal judgment about. And another reason why these feelings aren't as bad as they may seem at first is that these feelings are flags waving for unmet needs underneath. Whatever you get angry at, there's something, or whatever you hate or whatever you're jealous of, there's something underneath. If someone's overweight and they get jealous of a thin person, what they're wanting is to be thin and maybe even healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine to have the desire. The thing is, there's other stuff on top of it, like thinking, oh, that's not for me, I'm not allowed to have it, I'll never get that. All that is just crap thinking you can just chuck out, okay? It's just stick with the desire. Look for the desire underneath the feelings instead of stuffing away the feelings. Because if you try to stuff away the feelings, you're just going to have more of the defensive measures, which is completely not what's wanted, right? So that's one thing. And here's yet another issue around why these negative feelings aren't so negative as they appear and why dealing with them honestly is very, very important. And that is when you numb yourself to something that's uncomfortable or a feeling you're ashamed of, it so costs you in two ways. One is your health. And if you stuff it down, you cause stress to your body. Stress can cause disease. It's very well documented. Okay? There's another thing as well. You can't pick out, feelings are not like a shopping excursion you can go to Walmart or Asda's for and take, okay, I'm going to take this anger out of my cart and I'll take some peace and joy instead. I'll just leave that anger behind. It doesn't work like that. What happens is that you have like, if we were computers, it would be like an emotion module, an emotion chip, or emotion codes. And when you numb yourself to those discomforting emotions, you also numb yourself to peace, to joy, to intimacy, to lightheartedness, to contentedness, to bliss, to being chilled out, to contentment. All the positive feelings, your capacity for them gets muffled. And the more you stuff down your anger, the more you stuff down your peace and your joy and your happiness. It's exactly on par. You can't stuff down one without muffling your capacity from another. That is really, really costly. Way too high a cost in my book. So there's no feeling in and of itself that's harmful or even really negative. But there are harmful and negative ways of dealing with these emotions. In fact, there are really stupid ways of dealing with these emotions, ways that harm you and the people around you. So what we're going to talk about next week is introducing a couple of ways to process your feelings intelligently, even the ones that make you squirm in embarrassment and shame. So very best wishes. Have a wonderful week. Don't dump your feelings on anybody in the meanwhile, and see you next week. Bye for now.